welcome to a brand new video. Make sure to like this video, subscribe with notifications on. Most of you are not subscribed, so do that. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Let's do this. Oh, Angry Birds, what have they done to you? What has Rovio done to you? Hey everyone, SMG here. Welcome back to another reaction. We're going to be doing our very first SUNNYV2 reaction to a video called The Slow, Painful, Greedy Death of Angry Birds. So I saw Glorious react to this video, or like I saw him like the thumbnail of that he did react to this video. I didn't see his reaction, but like I seen that he made a video of him reacting to this video, so I'm gonna check it out for myself. So like this video, subscribe, ring the bell and share, and without further ado, we're gonna dive right on in.
Back in 2011, Angry Birds was everywhere. They had multiple different games, toys, and movies, generating hundreds of millions of dollars. But by 2019, they were firing masses
2011
of staff,
was like,
and since then things have only gotten worse. Perhaps it's just
really
karma
like
for stealing the initial idea. Angry Birds
where it really
wasn't
went
an
off.
original concept.
I started
in
playing
April
Angry Birds at 2011.
A game was released named Crush the Castle, which required players to fire a trebuchet into wooden structure hiding medieval people. Well, 8 months later, in December 2009, game developer Rovio made an app named Angry Birds, which, while clearly being a rip-off, was better in every way. It had cooler, cleaner animated graphics, and different stages, each with different levels. You got points for every enemy killed, and points for every bird you didn't use, giving players the chance to compete for high scores. Throw in 5 different birds with 5 different abilities, as well as a cool,
the names as well.
And it's easy to see that Angry Birds was better.
And they have all the names as well, and then they also have Hal, Terrence,
none of which
Bubbles,
saw even
Stella,
the smallest bit of success.
Mighty Eagle,
Therefore, when
Iceberg.
Angry Birds took only 2 months to become the #1 paid app in 60 countries, they understandably took the chance to milk it. Then make loads of different varieties like Angry Birds Seasons, Angry Birds Space, and Angry Birds Star Wars, helping it become the #1 paid app in
the
Apple's
best one.
App Store with 6 to 7
play Epic
million
again,
paid
honestly.
downloads. By the end of Angry Birds' first year, they'd made $10 million US, but players still demanded more. We have so many fans who have asked for the plush toys, so these are going to be available in a couple of weeks. And we're really trying to build Angry Birds into this entertainment franchise. It took only 4 months before that announced 60,000 Angry Birds soft toys have been sold, as the game itself became the best-selling paid app of all time.
I literally have so many Angry Birds plush toys actually here.
Microtransactions like Mighty Eagle, which allowed players to pay to clear entire levels. With celebs like Justin Bieber even advocating for it, Angry Birds made 100 million in 2011 and went from 28 employees in the beginning of the year to 224 employees by the end of 2011.
Just 28 is crazy.
5 months later, they set a new world record. First mobile game series to reach 1 billion downloads. They'd double their revenue again by the end of 2012, at which point they started to face a serious problem. The game was getting stale. They'd made multiple different Angry Birds versions, but hadn't changed the concept in over 3 years. As a result, in the following year, their profits more than halved, with Angry Birds falling to 59th in the App Store, forcing the franchise to try a new format. They'd release Angry Birds Go at the end of 2013.
That was a really fun game,
this
though.
Was somewhat of a Mario Kart ripoff, people absolutely loved it.
So I mean, it's fun. It is good fun. It looks good. It plays well.
Professional reviewers gave it 7.7, while people on Reddit called it their favorite Angry Birds game and perfection at its finest. Rovio therefore continued to experiment, releasing an RPG game named Angry Birds Epic, which again received incredible reviews, reading, "The latest Angry Birds title is a welcome addition to a franchise which hasn't seen much change change since its inception back in 2009. Similarly, users said it might be the best RPG title I've ever played.
Literally.
And honestly, a pretty solid time. I think the approach they went with here really worked and paid off.
The only problem was, these games didn't sell merch like the original Slingshot format.
Yeah.
Therefore, merchandise sales plummeted, while total 2014
Yeah, they never
revenue
did any
dropped,
new
and
merch
profits
for
fell
like
73% to 10
after
million
Star
euros.
Wars.
As a
They
result,
never
media
did
outlets
more
reported
merch.
Rovio
I
lays
think.
off 110 people
They never
as
did-
Angry Birds hype fades, representing 14% of the company's workforce. They try to fix their decline with yet another experiment, Angry Birds Pop, which was pretty unsuccessful.
It used to be Angry Birds Stella
Out of
Pop,
all the
but
Angry Birds games, which one do you think is the
that
worst?
turned into Slingshot
Pop was
Bubble
mentioned
Shooter or
many
whatever,
times
I heard.
over. Therefore, they'd go back to basics and put out Angry Birds 2, the official sequel, although many
Yeah.
called it a downgrade from the original.
It was-
the sequel
which was
filled to
under
the brim with
construction before that.
microtransactions, clearly annoying the fan base who wrote, "This is a very greedy game that keeps sucking money out of you. If you play well, the game becomes harder and harder until it's impossible, and then you either have to replay each level 10 times or buy gems. The game is just trying to throw you off balance and get under your skin so that you pay more." The official IGN review
I have to keep
said
on
the
like
game
going into
took
the games just so I can
significant
like
steps backward for the massively popular series. Angry Birds
and my
2 is
hatchlings
missing
like
key
keeps
parts
taking
of
my
what made
apples.
previous games so universally compelling to gamers both hardcore and casual, young and old. Still, due to its intense monetization, Angry Birds 2 became their highest earning game. Surprisingly, however,
Well,
that
yeah.
very same year, they'd announced losses of almost 15 million and would fire a further third of their workforce.
Yeah, but I'm not
this
gonna
time
pay
being over
anything
200
in Angry
people.
Birds,
This
you know?
seemed to imply that
Angry
Angry
Birds
Birds
2.
was dead until they'd make
I saw
an
them like on my phone, but I haven't played it in a
comeback.
while.
Turns out they'd spent the previous 3 years privately developing the Angry Birds movie at a cost of
And
73
they made two of them, and the third one's coming.
But with a star-studded cast and a fun little story, the Angry Birds movie did surprisingly well. It made over
Both of them did really good,
million
actually.
from its 70
I
million
personally think both of them are
budget
really
and
good.
put Angry Birds back into the public spotlight. People began replaying their previously released games, while Angry Birds theme parks popped up in different countries. Media outlets
I wanted to
reported
go to the
Rovio
Angry
Games
Birds
had its
land in
best year
Helsinki,
ever
but
in
you know, I gave up on it ever
However,
since
the gaming releases
Nintendo
that Angry
World
Birds
became
was
a
known
thing.
for was still declining in quality. In his video,
Yeah,
I played and
Angry
ranked every
Birds,
Angry Birds
Evolution,
game, so you
and all
don't
the
have
other
to.
ones.
Jake Miller talks about Angry Birds Action.
Oh,
Angry Birds
Action was
the start
something
of using the new
too.
anthropomorphic designs from the movies in their games, which I think most fans agree was the real beginning of the end for the series.
which happened to be the first game after the movie. Similarly, in the Reddit thread asking about the worst Angry Birds game, one user implied it was most of them.
Literally
after the
every
movie's
new
release. Said games included Angry Birds Fight, aka a Candy Crush ripoff.
Angry Birds Fight
as well
was
as
actually
Angry Birds
nice.
Match, which was described
I
as
st- I think I
extremely
stopped
bland.
after
However, thankfully
Fight,
for Rovio,
or Angry Birds
their
2.
older titles were still extremely popular, with Angry Birds 2's revenue growing 47% in 2018, despite it being over 3 years old. This gave them the budget to make a second movie. However, their $65 million bet didn't pay off so well this time. Forbes wrote Angry Birds 2 is worse than the original in nearly every way, whilst Rotten Tomatoes critics added a distressingly ineffective sequel that grows less and less
I mean, but the
interesting
audience
and
thinks
more
it's
and more
better.
tiresome as it unfolds. Still, the movie made a profit of $82 million, right as the company was making some weird changes. Despite their older games being low maintenance, Rovio decided to completely stop updating them. Then, without explanation, some
Yeah.
of the older beloved titles, including the
Got
original
removed from
Angry
the app
Birds,
stores.
were deleted from the App Store. When
Yup.
people began to talk about what they'd done, people made compilations stating Angry Birds was dead. There were comments like, "Remember when Rovio actually cared?" whilst hashtag BringBack2012 began to trend on Twitter. Things got so bad that Rovio apologized, stating they only did it as maintaining the highest quality of updates and live operations isn't possible with our older games. In response to the backlash, that announced they planned on redeveloping Angry Birds Classic, which was re-released on the App Store in 2022, but at a price of $1.99 with no in-game in-game purchases, they'd changed Classic's name to Red's First Flight, making it harder to find in the App Store, thus prompting players to buy the newer, more profitable games. This successfully fooled some people who struggled to find it on the App Store, however others knew exactly what Angry Birds was doing. They got rid of the old ones so that you would have no other choice than to play the modern Candy Crush-esque games. They despised the games that made the company and so lost its spirit. Rovio basically confirmed this, openly stating they changed the name due to the game's impact on our wider games portfolio. They further requested that fans continue to bring that passion to our live Angry Birds slingshot games, such as Angry Birds 2, however players weren't too happy.
Yeah, and
we hope those fans can continue to bring that passion to our other games which have been designed to be more psychologically manipulative and stuffed with more microtransactions.
Damn, Arlo.
The drama was so severe, it seemingly halted any future games, as Angry Birds Classic is still the most recent title, released way back in 2022.
Like, we haven't got a game since.
Rovio was sold to Sega, although this has done little to fix their reputation. One recent tweet
next time there's an Angry Birds
I very
game,
much still love Angry Birds. That said, the current state of it is dog shit.
Next time there's a new Angry Birds game, I'll probably play it if it does not look like shit.
I'll just continue to enjoy what I love about it, but it's sad to see what it's become.
Seriously.
Despite everything, Angry Birds isn't finished, as they just announced they're making a third movie, although with the rest of the franchise in decline, its performance might be interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, besides the third movie, it's really sad. Like, I am excited for Angry Birds 3, like the Angry Birds movie 3, but seeing like what happened to all the games is just, it really disappoints me, you know? It's just, it really, you know, really fell from grace, right? Anyways, guys, like this video, subscribe, ring the bell, and share. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys. Thanks for watching, and deuces.
SMG